Dr. Tashaki.
A truly pathological individual could never have constructed a mythos around himself the way Sheridan did. It's a very sophisticated PR campaign. Brilliantly done.
And then there's that bit about the way his death was handled.
Exactly. Everyone knows Sheridan died on Mimbar. The cover story they put out was clearly designed to perpetuate the myth of his character. And I guess it worked, because a lot of people still believe it 80 years later.
So, where do the two of you fall on the Delenn question?
Well, everyone knows Minbari lived a long time, but not that long. I think the record is 120 years. 140? Forget it. No, this is just what Dr. Tashaki was talking about earlier, this constant perpetuation of fantasy. The idea that Delenn is still around after this long and living in seclusion, so, of course, no one can see her, it's very convenient. The Alliance is continuing the illusion that Delenn is alive for their own purposes. Frankly, I don't think she would have approved.
Apparently, they feel they have to maintain this fiction in order to keep their people in line. But if the Alliance and the Rangers are as strong as they say, they don't need this security blanket of lies and myth.
Looking back, has the Alliance been a force for good?
Well, for the most part, yes. Although good things can grow in questionable ground. I think it's clear that the motives of those at the birth of the Alliance were not as pure as their biographers and allies would suggest.
The force of history is what moves us forward, our common shared destiny. The individual does not move society forward. To give them undue credit is immodest and impertinent. Sheridan was a megalomaniac, and to allow history to feed that megalomania, even posthumously, simply compounds the error. We have an obligation as academics to uphold certain standards.
I've just heard we've had a security breach in the building. We're going to...
John Sheridan was a good and kind and decent man.
Delenn, wait. You came all this way just to say that?
You came just as far to say less.
But this is extraordinary. There's so much more we'd like to ask you. So much more we'd like to know.
You do not wish to know anything. You wish only to speak. That which you know, you ignore because it is inconvenient. That which you do not know, you invent. But none of that matters, except that he was a good man, a kind man, who cared about the world, even when the world cared nothing for him.
Of course, we would expect you to say that. We